Big wireless companies sold you an outdated plan tied to long-term contracts and mystery fees. Simple Mobile's different. You get a lightning-fast 4G LTE nationwide network with no contract, ever. And keep the phone and number you love. Just text the word BYOP to 611-611 to see if your phone is compatible. Simple Mobile. Out with the old, in with the simple.
Standard text message and data rates may apply based on your mobile phone service. Please refer always to the privacy policy at simplemobile.com/privacy policy and the terms and conditions at simplemobile.com/terms and conditions.
Blog Talk Radio.
It's a new thing that's sweeping the land when you don't know which way to go. The answer is Jesus and Elevation Radio.
God bless you. This is another episode of Elevation Radio 1. And I'm your host, Pastor Steve, Music Man Turner. I'm so happy to be here today. So glad to have you with us as well. This is the program where we spotlight positive people doing positive work. And while serving a positive God, when we don't have anyone to spotlight, then we spotlight a concept. If we can't do the concept, then we spotlight God, Jesus. And that's always good. And so we are grateful, again, to be here today. And our sponsor is the effervescent, the almighty, all-powerful God, baby. God is the sponsor of this program. And I'll keep saying until another sponsor steps in. Otherwise not. It's G-O-D. And so our verse to rehearse is in Psalms 118, verses 24. The Lord has done it today, and let us rejoice. The Lord has done it today. Let us rejoice. And so our topic today is tell us about your business. Tell us about your business. Join the Gospel Network. And when we talk about business, we would like you to come out of the shadows. Today, many folks listen to the program, but they don't call in. And so we want you to come out of the shadows today and call in and spread the good news and the word about your business that God gave you. Why keep it a secret? Join this Gospel Network. And the number to call, you might say, well, I don't have the number. Well, let me help you. 1-914-205-5353, 1-914-205-5353. In doing some research, I did discover that in America there are estimated at least 28 million businesses owned by entrepreneurs. 28 million. And over about 20 million are actually operated by micro enterprises, folks with no employees, just the owner and the vision and the work, the struggle, but haven't made enough money to get employees or have a payroll. Whew, Lord have mercy. And so we call them the Army of One, micro enterprise. And if you're an Army of One, there's many reasons for that. Sometimes you don't have family help. Sometimes not everyone is excited about what God has given you, the vision that he has bequeathed to you, your inheritance, so that you must work it. No one else has caught up with you yet. You're years ahead of your time. If this is you, you need to call in 1-914-205-5353, 1-914-205-5353. I'm scheduled to have a guest today, and I don't see a person actually calling the digital studio, so we got to go this route in faith and operate this way. And so there are many different forms of businesses out there. We're going to focus today on the small business, minority business, women-owned business. Lord have mercy. If you are a minority business owner, if you are a women-owned business, not too many radio programs give you an opportunity to call in and shout out your business. That includes the name. That includes the website. It includes your name. And if you want to throw in a phone number, you can do that too. All that at no charge today. 60 seconds. And get yourself in practice for our big event, which is actually on next Saturday from 1 to 4. For those who live in the Baltimore, D.C., Virginia area, this will be held at the Gospel Network at Collins Seafood and Grill at 3653 Offutt Road, O-F-F-U-T Road in Randallstown, 21117. and we'll have 3 hours of power. We're going to let you come in for the ticket price of $20. That's it. Come in and get Chef Dante's all-you-can-eat soul food buffet, which is awesome, and a chance to network and pass out your flyers, your upcoming events. And for those brave souls, get up and talk about their business for 60 seconds of power. And you get one free copy of a book, either The Other Pulpit, written by yours truly, one free copy. And that's a mighty fine package. And I want to shout out to God and also my publisher, Leroy McKenzie, Jr. of J&F Enterprises, who looked and said, this is okay. I got this old gentleman's got something left in the tank, and I'm going to stand behind him and publish his work. I thank you, sir, for believing in me. And for Jerry Royce, of Jerry Royce Worldwide, Positive Power 21. I thank you, sir, for coming and bringing your television crew to actually, and Lakeisha Mosley of her new hit show on your network, to come in and actually be a part of the festivities. And when you walk into Collins Seafood Grill and come to the party room in the back, you will be able to be televised. And they will have live cameras for you. They do some live, we call selfies, and some interviews about your business. This is just an awesome situation. Listen, why hide? Christ said it. Why take a lamp and put it under a bushel? Put it up on top of the table so people can see what's going on. People need to know if any lawyers, any Christian lawyers, any Christian doctors, any Christian podiatrists, good God Almighty, any Christian health, automotive, financiers, real estate, whatever it is that you are doing and you're a Christian, then call in and come on out on next Saturday from 1 to 4. And you can go to eventbrite.com and get your tickets there. Go to PayPal. You can go to our Facebook event page. It's pretty fantastic. And so you still have time to call in today to brag and boast about the business that God has given you. And that's at 1914-205-5353. And that's pretty fantastic. And while I'm thinking, it says charity begins at home and then spreads abroad. So I'm going to boast and brag about the business that God has given me for many years. It's called Praise Unlimited Ministries, and I've done it for 20-some years now, providing excellence in on-call organist services. And we do have a caller here. Let's see who we have here. Welcome to Elevation Radio 1. How can we help
you? This is Leroy McKenzie.
Dr. McKenzie, how you doing, sir?
I'm good, and yourself?
I'm blessed, sir. This is very fantabulous is a word I invented last week. Very fantabulous. We're actually giving shout-outs to small business owners, and minority business owners, and women business owners today, so it's only fitting that that you have something to say about J&F Enterprises. And also, before you get started on J&F Enterprises, I was over on your Facebook page, I think it was Speakers Lounge, and I saw something about leadership, and kind of caught my eye. Do you want to talk briefly about that, sir?
Well, the post that I did I believe that particular day was just something that I do kind of arbitrarily to give leadership and to give leaders just kind of a little nugget and everything like that. And it kind of part of it references from my book, The Art of Leadership, Success Strategies for the 21st Century Leader. And that book, it focuses on leadership from a couple of different perspectives, and that's from the leadership from the family, leadership from government, leadership from education, leadership in business, and then leadership from the church. So it kind of somebody can fit into one of those categories because that's what the community is based out of. Our community is comprised of all of those components. So if you're going to be a leader in one of them or all of them, you have to have a, strategy for being a leader. You have to have, those things that you implement for yourself and for, whether it's your family, whether it's government, whether it's education, business, or the church. You have to have a certain mindset and a certain strategy so that you can be successful in doing that.
Well, now you've unknowingly unleashed a can of worms here. Now I know for a fact that if you are, let's see here, in the government society, perhaps you may be an employee, and at some point you may never get to the top, may never get promoted. We know GS situations, unless somebody dies or passes out. But in the case you do, for private sector, you may somebody may come to you and say, a new company want to promote you. And some people turn that down. They turn it down because they don't want to be bothered with all that time frame, and they pull on their schedule. And that's one thing. But in church, good gosh, you don't really have much say in some cases when someone comes to you and says, I want you to be the head of so-and-so. And usually it's the pastor who may ask you that because there's no one else that he likes, that he can trust. And so he speaks of himself, sometimes not of God, and you find yourself actually head of a auxiliary. What you got to say about that?
Well, right. You can be, but you got to remember that leadership is comprised of a couple of those things that you talked about, as far as being asked to head something, or whether you are, you might be the head of a particular ministry, or you are even the pastor of the church. Because leadership, whether it's the family or whether it's the church, that body, of whatever is only going to be as successful as the leader is. So even if you want to break it down into, like you said, an auxiliary head, where's the mindset and what is the mindset of that auxiliary head? Are they there just because them and they just feel obligated to do it, or is it something that they that they want to be a part of, that they want to contribute to, that not only that church body being successful, but the kingdom of God being successful? How do they approach it? How do they interact with the folks that will be under them or working with them?
Well, I'm a leader now. You must obey me and follow what I say because I am the leader.
Right, and you have folks that are exactly like that too. I ain't saying no names, but we can name a couple of folks off of the that we see in the media every day, and their address is 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. But I'm not just going, I ain't saying no names, but but they have that mindset.
Are you afraid to say Donald Trump, sir? Afraid? I want all my toys.
I ain't saying
I want my wall.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I ain't saying no names. I'm just saying the address is 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. So, and it's a big white house.
I want my wall.
And you can't miss it. So.
It's Pelosi on the other side. You're not getting a wall. You're not getting a wall.
So, but you do have some leaders that that have that mindset where they come in and it's you do what I say because I'm in charge, and people take that title, they take that title to kind of to heart. Where it's like they want that. Some folks are wrong in that, and I talk about that too in the book. Is having an understanding what leadership is, and what that what that means.
Well, let me ask you this. Let me see here. It's hard to be a leader. I found this out to be true. It's hard to be a leader if you don't have enough people behind you to support what you're doing. You have the vision, but you don't have anybody to carry it out. They don't really want to support you because they're either lazy or they just don't like you. for some reason they're jealous because you would have won. You got the vision first.
Here's the thing: good leadership. You can tell good leadership because they get people to buy in or to believe in the vision that they have. It's about leadership is about getting somewhere, getting people from one point to another point, a common destination. And those who are effective leaders and successful leaders are able to convey the message of the vision, but also able to get people to buy in how to be able to achieve what it is that they're trying to achieve.
So, let's see here. So we're trying to get folks to buy into a concept. What's the difficulty in starting a business?
I think the difficulty it's a couple of things. I mean, one, the difficulty I think comes with people not understanding the amount of work that it takes to start a business. I think they go in it haphazardly, not understanding that it is a lot of work. And if you're not willing to do the work, then maybe it's not for you, because there's only a select few that are willing to put in the work.
What kind of work?
Well, I mean, if you're starting a business, one, it starts with the research. You know, what particular industry are you in, or are you interested in going in, and what does that industry look like? Not only what does it look like, but what did it look like in the past? What does it look like now? And then what does it look like in the future? Those are three components of having a business, because you want to know where it came from, because you want to know what things were in that particular industry. You want to know where it is now, because you want to be current with the things that are going on in that particular industry. And of course, you want to think forward in thinking, where is that industry going, so you can always be what I call, and what I learned was being ahead of the bell curve. You're at the front of the bell curve and not behind the end of the bell curve. You know, so it takes that. That's the beginning of the work. That's just the beginning.
I just thought of something. I had an experience of going down to Fells Point, which is, for those who are not from Baltimore, is the sort of semi-bougie side of town, downtown. And I went to get a sandwich, and the lady who sold me the sandwich said her father started the business, but she was going to close the business down. I said, why? And she said, because we have so many Asians in this area. We have Thai restaurants all over the place. And I said, is one right there, one right there, one right there? And I said, okay. I said, how is that possible when, it should be, she said, should be just one Thai restaurant here, not three within 3 minutes walking distance. She said, what happens is the government gives them all this money. They don't use it all. They get maybe $350,000. They may take $150 and put it in the business, and the rest they put it in homes or in their cars. They don't use all the money, and she belabored that situation, and it made me think about it. I said, now for African Americans, it's very difficult to try to maintain and establish businesses, especially storefront and mortar. In some cases, in some areas, when I grew up, when I went to a certain part, it was all African American. They all had owners, from the shoe shine to the restaurant. But now it's basically wiped away. You can barely find, even in this city, a soul food restaurant.
No, I disagree with that. There are plenty of them.
A whopping three. Oh,
no, people. No, I can name at least four just off the top of my head.
And that's a shame, because we have over at least 625 or 620,000 or 600,000 folks in the city. This is predominantly an African American city. There should be one on every corner. That's what I'm saying, especially as a soul food connoisseur.
That's not good. That's not good business. I don't think you want one on every other corner, because then the competition, you become competing against each other.
Have you seen me?
So,
have you seen me?
Huh?
Have you seen me consume food?
Okay.
There should be one on every corner. But go ahead after you point. I got you.
Yeah, because it becomes a competition. Now, I could understand one being in various communities. I think there should be one in every community, because then then you're doing something there. Just as if just like they had. I didn't say every community has a Walmart, but there's a Walmart strategically placed in pretty much a lot of communities. So we have to understand how business is done. And when you're going to be a business, when you're going to be a business owner or entrepreneur, you have to understand that. You have to understand location. You have to understand who your target market is. You have to understand the different, the different aspects of that. And a good business owner, good leader, goes into detail, gets into the details of those things.
All right, this is too dry for me. I got to start get something ignited here. I had an interview years ago, and I went. I can't do boring conversations. I had an interview years ago for a manager position at a retail store, and I went down to a place called Old Town Mall, and they told me to wait in the lobby. And once the sliding doors parted, I saw different owners of different businesses of clothing stores, Heath's and Robert C. Richards and some other things. There were 3 or 4 of them. Alan Stewart, and I was amazed. I said, "What are all you guys?" Which I know, because I spent a ton of money when I did like one store. I went to the other store, and what are you all guys doing here at one place at one time at this interview? I said, "Steve," and they never remember my first name, which is really not a good thing. Spent that much money. "Steve, we're all family." And I'm thinking like, oh my God, why can't we do that as African Americans? Why can't we share and network and business together and patronize each other and even come under each other's umbrella in that fashion? Why can't we do that and take over? Did I say that? Yeah. Because we have the ideas. We have the ideas. FUBU was our idea. I mean, the iron, the traffic light, the beauty supply, the telephone. We created these things. Why can't we dominate what we've created?
Well, I think one of the things is once we get, when you look at those, you just named one FUBU. What did they do when they got to a certain level? They sold it. What did Bob Johnson do with BET once he got it to a certain level? Sold it. Most of our businesses, when they get to certain levels, those particular entrepreneurs that have started those businesses, that started back in the 80s or in 90s, pretty much, have sold their businesses because they wanted to either move on to the next project or to move on to the next venture that they had, as opposed to growing it out like a Ralph Lauren. If you want to compare, FUBU to a Ralph Lauren or a Jones of New York, and a Bob Johnson with BET, if you wanted to grow that to a major network like NBC or CBS or HBO or something like that, they sold it off, as opposed to growing it and keeping it and growing it. And that's the difference.
Is that why? Is that why, or just because there were no children behind them who wanted to further the vision? What about that?
No, I mean, I don't know if Bob Johnson has any, if him and his wife had any kids, or not. But Damon John and the rest of those FUBU guys, I'm sure they have kids, and they're thinking, they may be thinking about their legacies, but they weren't thinking in terms of leaving that, which is a shame, because we don't think in terms of legacy. And when I think about that, I always bring this up. and I always look at the staple. The staple for me is the Marriotts. That's long money. Long money.
Yeah, all the time. You're not talking. You're not referring to because this is a clean Christian program. You're not talking about the gangster money because I saw that on TV. Long money.
No, I'm talking about the Marriotts, the Marriott hotels.
I gotta clarify that.
You think about you think about that. Well, I've worked for Marriott, so I know the legacy. But you're talking I think it was the great grandfather, the grandfather, the father, and the sons, and now probably even the grandsons. That's what I mean by long money.
Okay.
That's long money there. That's generational. You're talking 4 or 5 generations of money. So
that's because the kids
we don't have that mindset.
The kids grew into that because that's the mindset they received. I could just name several, and they're not. I haven't seen African American in that respect being advertised on TV, like Bob Bell and the lawyers. They got the sons and the daughters and taking over the business.
I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah, the one that has the daughter that's an attorney and everything. Mm.
Yeah. That's how you get the legacy piece. I mean, our children are not thinking about that nowadays. Not the majority.
Well, but whose fault is that?
It is the fault of the mother.
Oh, see, it's the fault of the mother. Okay.
Because the father's not at home. If you're upset about this, if you think I'm wrong, and you need to call in 1-914-205-5353 and put me in my place. I've stepped out of line. But if we don't have enough men in the house, then how can we cause problems in that respect? So we're getting it from somewhere, and it ain't us. I think this is so scandalous I may have to play some music here. Hold on a second. Okay, I just wanted to break up the atmosphere because you were starting too much trouble here. But speaking of, if you want to talk about business and you want to get some inspiration, and you just feel as though you don't have enough atmosphere of encouragement, you need to come out to the Gospel Network double book signing party. I just said the Gospel Network double book signing party, which is being on Saturday, next Saturday, March 23rd, from 1 to 4, at Collins Seafood and Grill at 3653 Offord Road, 3653 Offord Road, and that's spelled OFFUTT, Offord Road in Randallstown, Maryland. For those who can't, then by all means look at our website, website at jnfenterprises.com, and get a copy of The Other Pulpit brand new re-release from yours truly, and Stormproof. And your book again?
The title of the book is The Art of Leadership, Success Strategies for the 21st Century Leader.
I like that. How much is that?
That one's is actually $15.
Actually, that's the same one. Same one my book is too. It's amazing. I think we may have to do a swap here, sir. I need some more leadership strategies.
Mine's a little thicker than yours, so.
Oh, are you talking about my hair or your hair? We can go there now.
I ain't got no hair. Because I'm bald-headed, so that has to do with my book. But my book is... Yeah, all the things are exposed now.
It's all right. But listen, we got 60 seconds here. Should have had more time. I didn't know this was going to be a sleeper surprise. But how do they get in touch with you if they want to reach you?
Sure, they can reach us at, you just mentioned www.jnfenterprises.com. I'm on social media, Facebook at JNF Enterprises, Instagram at JNF Enterprises, Twitter at JNF Enterprises 1. We'll also have a YouTube channel, so you can please go visit, subscribe, and that's JNF Enterprises as well. And you can also email us if you need to at jnfenterprises@yahoo.com.
All right, that sounds fantastic. And if you want to get some books and some CDs, you can actually go to StephenTurnerMinistries.com. It'll be up in about 24 hours. You can also email at StephenTurnerMinistries@gmail.com. Come on out to the Gospel Network next Saturday from 1 to 4. Bring your flyers, your upcoming events. Come on and hang out with us. Let's learn some things, learn how to write a book. Let's learn how to do some business. Let's learn how to network and partake Christian style. We will embrace you. Women-owned businesses. Come on out. Let's talk about what you got going on. And we can network together and put our heads together and pray, and so you can be prosperous and successful. And so if you'd like to be a sponsor of this program, you can go to www.elevationradio1.info. Tune into this program again at positivepower21.org. Shout out to Jerry Royce Media, who will be filming on next Saturday. So if you don't have any warrants, then you can come on out and hang with us. God bless you. Okay, Mackenzie? Your criminal background is okay, right?
Yeah, I think I'm all right.
That's fantastic. I was worried for a second. Thank you so much, and we appreciate you.
All right, sir.
God bless you. All right, sir. Take care now.